Hello and happy Tuesday, which is, of course, my book reviews day. And today I want to talk to you about Loving Day by Matt Johnson, a pretty way out of left field book that I wasn't really planning on reading, but then I wanted to read, something a little different. I picked up this copy. It's a trade edition. Book came out back in 2015. Picked up this copy from the signed page because it was signed by Matt Johnson and it was on sale. And I really knew nothing about this, knew nothing about any of Johnson's work. But the description sounded interesting. It was described as a man comes home to, inherits a house from his father in Philadelphia, and the house might be haunted. But he's also haunted by his past in the form of a daughter that he was never there for. So, first of all, wasn't anticipating reading two daddy issue books back to back. Last week, I had finished and reviewed The Horror at Pleasant Brook, in which one of the main characters had an absentee father. And now here's Loving Day, which is also about an absent father, although this father is trying to get to know the daughter he was never there for. So anyways, what this novel is really about at its core is mixed race, which I am the pastiest white guy, here in Western New York. So that's not really a subject that I can relate to, but Matt Johnson's writing style is really good. Wow. I mean, for a novel that, is very much about seeking your own identity, Warren, the main character, the narrator, he's mixed race. He has a very white father. He had a black mother. He is very fair-skinned, to the point where he doesn't know where he belongs. He doesn't really, he feels he doesn't quite belong with white stereotypes, but he doesn't really feel like he belongs with black stereotypes. And I guess stereotypes is the way for it because, it's society, I suppose. And so he inherits, after his father's passing, a haunted house, a big old house in Germantown, Philadelphia, which has ghosts, or as he likes to believe them to be, crackheads. And if that got a chuckle out of you, it's even though it's not necessarily a comedic book, it definitely has a lot of comedic elements in it from Matt Johnson's writing style. I don't know much about Johnson, and I know this isn't necessarily biographical, but I read online that this was his coming out novel of being mixed race. Warren, the narrator, finds himself in a small community that embraces being mixed, where they kind of divide themselves into two different groups within this mixed community. One, which is Oreos, where you're black on the outside, white on the inside, or sunflowers, where you're dark on the inside, lighter on the outside, which is just the craziest damn thing I've ever heard. But I mean, however you want to identify, I suppose. And so he encounters his daughter, his teenage daughter. He left when the mother was pregnant, and he left for Europe. He's now coming back, and this girl's she's 17, and had been raised by her Jewish grandfather. And now she has to spend time with her actual father, Warren, embracing who they are as people. And wow, it was a great read. I bought two of Johnson's books on sale, both signed from the signed page. This one and Pym. And had I realized after I started reading this that Pym was about Edgar Allan Poe and his one completed novel, I probably should have read that one because I just did the unboxings for the Edgar Allan Poe collections from Suntop. But anyways, I went with this one instead because the idea of a haunted house intrigued me. And wow, like I said, it was a really good read. It was very enjoyable characters who get themselves into some very bizarre circumstances. Warren has this plan in his head the entire time of how he's just going to burn the house down and collect the insurance money. And because this is like a half renovated house, like there's no roof on the house. It's like very much under construction when his father passed. And it's just crazy characters. His writing style did take me a couple chapters to get used to. I don't know. He has kind of a sort of, how do I want to word it? It's like airy sense to his writing. where it just doesn't feel like real sentences at times. But like once you read a couple chapters, it makes sense. Like in the ghetto there is a mansion, and it is my father's house. Is the opening line. It's a different kind of structure at times. But yeah. Oh, what was the one thing that I was going to tell you about? How it's going to take more than a man to fix this house. This is not a job for one man. It's a job for a legion. And I'm like, hey, Suntup's publishing Legion. I mean, it's obviously just a biblical reference, but hey, connections. That's what they're there for. So yeah, Loving Day is a well-crafted and beautifully written story about coming to terms with racial identity in a mixed-race community in a city like Philadelphia while dealing with both the ghosts of your past as well as quite literal ghosts in a haunted house. I will say that the literal ghosts in the haunted house are definitely not the focal point of the novel, so if you're expecting more supernatural occurrences, there are supernatural occurrences, and these creepy-ass ghosts or crackheads, not really creepy, but they're there, periodically throughout the novel, but they are not the center point of this novel. So the center point of this novel is family bonding and, like I said, learning to love yourself and love your family and love the community around you and finding your place in that community. And wow, it was a really good read. I highly recommend it. I think there might, if you're interested in signed copies, I think copies might still be available through the signed page, link in the description below, and you can pick up a signed copy of a very, very enjoyable and very cheap paperback that's, 8 years old. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please check out my channel where I'm going to do a book review every single week and plenty of unboxings in between. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you around next time.